I can't find Aetheria. Weren't you testing the game yesterday? Leo's voice was filled with worry as he addressed his roommate and project partner Miles. I was, but then I stepped out for a bit. What's going on? Miles approached Leo, who was browsing on his laptop. Leo was an ordinary orphan with an extraordinary mind, who had earned a scholarship to study in an Ivy League school for his brilliance in game development. During his time in his new college, he had poured his heart and soul into creating Aetheria, a virtual gaming world so realistic that it blurred the line between reality and fantasy. However, it seemed like it had vanished from Leo's laptop. As Leo searched through all his external drives, his eyes were fixated on the time displayed on his laptop screen. Soon it was 11 in the morning, and Leo stopped his activity. It's too late now. I won't make it, he muttered, a sense of defeat creeping over him. Leo had entered a highly anticipated gaming competition organized by his college, where recruiters from prestigious companies across the globe would be scouting for talent. This was his golden opportunity to take his career to new heights. But with Aetheria missing, his chances of joining the ranks of the top players seemed non-existent. Seeing his friend's distress, Miles racked his brain for a solution. Wait a minute. Last night, right before I left the room, I saw Xander lurking in the hallway. Leo perked up, confusion etching his face. What was he doing here? Isn't his dorm in a different building? Xander, a wealthy and arrogant student, was notorious for his bullying ways. He had a deep-rooted belief in elitism and despised the presence of students from less privileged backgrounds in their prestigious colleges. And Leo, being an orphan, was a prime target for Xander's cruelty. As Leo pondered Miles's words, a surge of memory flooded his mind. He recalled the countless times Xander had threatened to get him expelled from the college. Now, with Aetheria missing, it became clear to Leo that Xander had succeeded in his mission. Anger coursed through Leo's veins, fueling his determination. He rose from his chair and stormed out of the room, slamming the door behind him. The sudden transformation in Leo's demeanor startled Miles, who had never witnessed this side of his friend in the few months they had known each other, and feared for what was to come. Meanwhile, Leo entered the crowded homeroom, where Xander and his gang of friends were laughing and enjoying their superiority. I wish I could see that little runt cry, one of Xander's minions mocked, drawing laughter from the others. Yeah, but how did you manage to steal from Leo's room? That freak never leaves his room, added another friend. Xander's face glowed with triumph as he prepared to boast about his accomplishment, pulling an external drive from the pocket of his hoodie. Inside it lay Leo's stolen game. Just as he was about to speak, a voice echoed from behind. Is that my game you got there? Xander and his cronies spun around in shock, finding Leo standing before them. Quick as lightning, his minions sprang into action, cornering Leo against the room's wall. Xander, feeling secure in his superiority, sneered as he sauntered past Leo, waving the external drive mockingly. You don't get it, orphan, he jeered. In this world, the weak perish while the strong devour those beneath them. Wearing a self-satisfied grin, he continued on his way. Leo simmered with rage, feeling the searing injustice of a world that allowed such cruelty to thrive. Summoning every ounce of courage, he pushed the minions aside and lunged at Xander. Caught off guard by Leo's sudden burst of strength, Xander's eyes widened as he scrambled to escape. But Leo was faster. He seized Xander by the collar, his grip firm and unyielding, rage coursing through his veins. You've stooped to a new low, Xander, he spat, struggling to contain his fury. Suddenly, one of Xander's minions crept up from behind and restrained Leo, joining the others in a vicious assault. They callously kicked him while he lay defenseless on the ground, reveling in their brutal power. Gasping for air, Xander smirked and taunted his rival. Break the hand that dared to touch me, he commanded his lackeys. Later, Xander ordered his minions to carry Leo's battered and unconscious body outside the campus. They found themselves on a bustling street with cars whizzing past. Parking their car by the roadside, one of Xander's friends pointed toward an approaching bus, and Xander nodded in agreement. Upon receiving Xander's nod, his other friend doused Leo with water, causing him to regain consciousness. Get up, little birdie. It's time for you and your little game to fly, Xander sneered sarcastically, gesturing to his two friends. Without hesitation, they lifted Leo and heartlessly flung him onto the road, the external drive thrown beside him. Leo crashed onto the unforgiving pavement, struggling to rise, but his hands and legs were bound. He screamed for the bus to stop, pleading with Xander and his friends to release him, but his voice was swallowed by the cacophony of traffic. Helplessly, Leo turned his gaze forward and saw the approaching bus, mere inches away. Just then, the external drive began to tremble, shaking violently as if possessed. Witnessing this, Leo was so astounded that he momentarily forgot about the bus, until its blaring horn snapped him back to reality. Leo glimpsed the panic-stricken face of the bus driver, desperately trying to halt the vehicle. He covered his eyes with his arm and shouted. As he yelled, the external drive shot into the air, freezing in mid-flight. It emitted a golden light that engulfed Leo and the hard drive, before suddenly vanishing from the road. Sometime later, Leo's eyes fluttered open, and he found himself lying on a bed of lush green grass. The gentle breeze caressed his face, invigorating and refreshing as if nature itself had conspired to awaken him from a deep slumber. "Am I in heaven?" murmured Leo, his voice barely audible as he struggled to make sense of his surroundings. "Not quite. You're in Aetheria," explained the enigmatic voice. It was deep and resonant, like that of a wise old mentor. Leo's astonishment grew, his eyes widening in disbelief. "Who's talking to me? Who the heck are you?" he demanded, his curiosity and anxiety intertwining. "I'm Prometheus, your guide and mentor in this world you created. I am your AI support system built to assist you on this journey," responded the voice of Prometheus. "Prometheus? Did I create you too?" Leo repeated the system's words with an expression mixed with confusion and intrigue. "Yes, you're the one who brought me to life and conjured up this world," Prometheus clarified. As Leo tried to wrap his head around this mind-boggling information, a searing headache gripped his mind, causing him to grab his head in discomfort. "Damn it! Why can't I remember anything?" he lamented, his frustration palpable. Prometheus let out a sigh, a hint of exasperation in its voice. "It's all right. You've had a rough ride getting here. Maybe you should make sure you're all intact before we go hunting for some aspirin." Ignoring the system's suggestion, Leo was stunned to find himself alive, since his last memory was being run over by a bus. He slapped his face with both hands, testing the sensation of touch to confirm his existence. A mix of disbelief and elation escaped his lips, leaving him momentarily breathless. "Yes, Aetheria. It's starting to come back to me. My memories are still fuzzy, but I can recall bits and pieces of it," he exclaimed, his voice tinged with excitement. In an attempt to verify his physical presence, he pinched his cheek once more, a surge of joy flooding through him. "Oh my God, I've come back from the dead. With this second chance, I'll become the strongest warrior and lay waste to anyone who dares treat me or anyone else unfairly," Leo vowed earnestly, once he had regained his bearings. "However," the stoic voice of Prometheus interjected, sounding somewhat exasperated. "You'll need to level up before embarking on your quest," it said. The system bestowed upon Leo a new skill called Nimbus Strike. "Once you master this skill, you'll have the power to move mountains and command the seas," Prometheus elucidated. Leo listened intently, feeling a surge of newfound strength coursing through his body and veins. Suddenly the system fell silent, and a transparent green screen materialized before him, causing Leo's jaw to drop in astonishment. "Yes! I want to enhance my Nimbus Strike! Count me in!" he exclaimed eagerly. After a brief pause, Prometheus responded, "Nimbus Strike has reached its maximum level. It's now at level 10. "Perfect. Thanks, Prometheus," Leo cheered, his excitement overflowing. "Don't thank me so soon. This is no favor. You got to prove you deserve this skill," Prometheus cautioned, tempering his enthusiasm. Leo looked puzzled as he tried to decipher the system's cryptic words, but he didn't have to wait long. A piercing howl echoed in the distance, sending shivers down Leo's spine. He turned around and came face to face with a colossal wolf engulfed in flames. Leo's heart pounded in his chest, his palms sweaty and trembling. A shiver ran down his spine as he reached out to the mysterious system before him, his voice trembling. "What the heck is this thing?" Prometheus, the enigmatic entity, replied with a tinge of sarcasm, his voice echoing in Leo's mind. "Consider it your grand trial to prove your worth, my friend. Welcome to the treacherous realm of Aetheria. We shall converse once more if you manage to survive." With those words, the connection between Leo and the system abruptly severed, leaving him in a state of bewildered uncertainty. Reluctantly, Leo turned his gaze forward, his eyes widening in terror as he beheld the colossal figure of a menacing wolf closing in on him with a lethal determination. Time seemed to slow down as adrenaline surged through his veins, his mind racing with sheer desperation. "I am not ready to die again," he whispered to himself as his anxiety gripped him tightly.